The Serenade of the Coffee Shop. Elara was a creature of habit and quiet observation, a bookbinder whose hands were always stained with glue and ink. Her sanctuary wasn't her tiny, messy workshop, but the corner booth of The Daily Grind, a small, bustling coffee shop where the air smelled eternally of dark roast and old wood. Liam was a musician, a street performer whose guitar case was covered in stickers from cities he'd played, and whose soul was tuned to a slightly melancholic, beautiful key. He came into Elara's predictable world one rainy Tuesday. He wasn't looking for coffee, he was looking for a break from the deluge. He chose a stool near the window, pulled a small, worn notebook from his pocket, and began to scribble. Elara watched him from her booth, not with the typical curiosity he often drew, but with a silent, gentle appreciation. His movements were fluid, his concentration intense, his dark curls falling perpetually into his eyes. Days turned into weeks, and their silence became a routine. He would sit, write, or occasionally pull out his guitar and play a melody so soft it only seemed to fill the spaces between the clatter of mugs and the espresso machine's hiss. She would sip her lukewarm chai latte, her gaze drifting between the pages of her book and the silhouette of his focus. One afternoon, Liam's pen ran dry. He sighed, annoyed, and glanced up. He saw Elara, not reading, but looking right at him. She offered a small, hesitant smile and, without saying a word, pushed a spare fountain pen, a beautiful copper-cased one, across the table. "It has a good weight," she murmured, her voice barely a whisper, yet it felt like a bell ringing clearly in his chest. "It's perfect for songwriting." Liam walked over and took the pen. Their fingers brushed. It was a fleeting contact, yet the spark was undeniable. "Thank you," he said, his voice deep and warm. "I'm Liam." "Elara," she replied. That pen opened the floodgates. They started with small talk, the weather, the best blend of coffee. Soon they were sharing their lives. Liam learned about her passion for restoring antique books, how she loved the smell of aging paper, and the quiet satisfaction of making something broken whole again. Elara learned about his restless soul, his search for the perfect chord progression, and his dream of writing music that felt like coming home. The unfinished song. One Friday, Liam was late. Elara worried. She had finished her book and was just staring at the empty window seat when the door swung open. Liam locked in, drenched, not from rain, but from sweat and nerves. "I need your help," he confessed, pulling her away from the table. "I have a show tonight, a big one, and I wrote a song for you, but I can't find the ending." He took her hand and led her out into the damp evening air. On a park bench, he took out his guitar and played. It was a melody of gentle longing, of quiet observation, and of sudden, unexpected warmth. It was their song. When he finished, he looked at her, his eyes vulnerable. The bridge is the Serenade of the Coffee Shop, but how does it resolve? Elara didn't think about music or lyrics. She thought about the scent of old paper and new coffee, the brush of their hands, and the comfortable silence they shared. She smiled, a radiant, utterly genuine smile. "It resolves," she said softly, leaning in close so her breath tickled his ear. She closed the distance between them, and in the quiet, tree-lined park, under the hazy glow of a distant street lamp, she kissed him. It was a kiss that tasted of courage and a future shared, a kiss that finished the song not with words, but with a perfect, resounding, happily ever after chord. From that day on, Elara didn't just mend books, she mended a musician's lonely heart, and Liam's songs always had the perfect ending because